Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Game Day here at Heavy Cardboard. It's just y'all and me today. I'm your host, Edward Euler. Happy to be joined by you. So, welcome everybody. Today we're doing something pretty awesome, I think, honestly. I had talked about it during the weekly look ahead back on Monday that Shrey had turned me on to this game. I hadn't heard about it, and I'm really glad that he did. Today's game, you can see behind me, heading forward, designed by John Dubois and published by Hollandspiel. Obviously, Shrey loaned me his copy, so thanks for that, Shrey. What is this? It's about recovering from a traumatic brain injury. Let's just think about that. Like, we all grew up playing like Monopoly, Risk, Life, you know, stuff like that. Whatever. And now we've gotten to the point to where we can have board games about subjects like this. That's stunning to me. That's amazing. And I think that's a credit to the maturity of our hobby. So I don't want to, you know, monologue here to whatever, but this, I think it's amazing. I went through it. And this is my first full game of it today, but I don't think y'all will have a hard time figuring this one out. The rule book, I think, is 5 pages total. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? Let's not even mess around. So like, subscribe, all that stuff if you are so inclined. So there you go. So we have the calendar, which represents a number of different things here. So at the top, we have the brain track. So our brain capacity, this is going to be how many cards we're going to draw in a given round. The calendar is the timer, will not represent, but yeah, will show the timer of the game. Easy, medium, hard. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw it right there because it's heavy cardboard, so I'm not gonna go easy. And I know y'all love seeing me struggle, but I don't think we need to go hard for the first play, all right? Right, so there we go. We'll go there. Then we have spoons, and the designer, John, mentions on this. I had first heard about this from Jess, honestly. Why use spoons? Spoons is a resource in the game. For spoon theory, it's basically how much energy, how much oomph you have, how much can you get done in a given day. So that's going to be our spoons, and there's our supply. Then there's money, which as we get money will be there. All right. It's a deck, not a deck builder, but it is a deck of cards in which we are going, you know what, instead of me trying here, a car crash, a workplace accident, a sports injury, a slip and fall at home. Any of these could have brought you where you are today, a traumatic brain injury. But this game is not about how you got here. The game is about what happens next. Your insurance provider has approved rehabilitation for 15, 12, or 10 rounds. So in our case, 12 rounds. The length of time you're allowed, depending on what level of plan you and your employer were able to afford. I mean, it's kind of dark in that regards, but realistic. You must complete therapy goals in 3 of the 4 different areas during that span of time. Otherwise, your insurance will determine you have not made adequate progress and will discontinue payment. I mean, that's dark, but that's the US for you. And I don't know how it is in other countries, but yeah. All right, so here, we'll go through setup real quick, okay? So we start to where we're gonna draw 3 cards. So the brain track starts on 3. We've already set the difficulty on that. We get 1 unused spoon to begin the game. Right. So the deck of cards, let's go ahead and talk about these. So if I show y'all here, so talking about this card, this is what the deck of cards mostly looks like. They are double-ended, right? So when we are on level 1 or stage 1, then we'll flip it around for stage 2. So orientation of these cards is going to be very, very important. There are some resources that are going to be shown in the top right-hand corner. So this one has care, but it also might have time on it as well. Then we're going to play cards, and then we have to expend everything here. If we can't, then we can't do that. And then we're going to try and we get whatever is here as much as possible. We must do everything that's on there, and we're going to want to. And then our progress is, okay, achieve. So in other words, turn this card to the level 2, kind of as an example on that, all right? The level 3s and level 4s of the 4 suits are all laid out over here for as we graduate or progress in our recovery from our brain injury. So this health card that we have right here will eventually will upgrade to stage 2, and then eventually upgrade to stage 3, and then hopefully stage 4. You get the idea on that, okay? All right. So we laid out the stage 3/stage 4 cards over here, all right? The stage 1 and 2, I will shuffle this deck. And when we shuffle, and it's important to note that notice the orientation of the head on this is to where the ones are up. So some of these will end up upside down as we graduate to the stage 2. It's important to keep the orientation straight on that, all right? So we will shuffle this up. Then we will take whatever the top card is and set that aside. That's going to be our trigger, okay? So the trigger warning on the, or not warning, sorry, whenever the trigger card comes up, we're going to have to do it. You can never cure or progress or never complete therapy on what the trigger is, because your trigger is indefinite. It could always trigger whatever, and this is for any kind of trauma that people have gone through. So in other words, that trigger card will always be in our deck. So something to keep in mind. But now that we've gone through kind of the gist of that, let me go ahead and I'd already shuffled these, but let's go ahead and do it again real quick. All right, so here we'll cut, and our trigger for our game are doing chores. I mean, I'm not trying to make light of it, but does anybody like doing chores not named Jess? So we are going to take this aside, the chores one, find the 3 and the 4, so it happens to be this one. We're going to set that aside. That is going to be our trigger, okay? Whenever we have to do chores, maybe we were dusting up high and we were on a ladder and we fell off the ladder, and that caused our traumatic brain injury, okay? So that seems realistic. That seems thematic. So the trigger card now will get shuffled into this, and there we go. Oh yeah, Chris says, my wife recently explained spoons to me. She got a kick out of it being a resource. I did too. Jess explained it to me previously, and seeing it represented in a game I thought was kind of cool. So there we go. And it's not a perfect thing. So John explains in here in the rule book, and he says it's not a perfect analogy for head injury rehab because many people with head injuries regain most of their pre-injury abilities. However, because I still use spoons as a reference for my own inconsistent energy levels following my head injury, and because spoon theory frames the struggle of finding the resources to complete early head injury trauma or rehabilitation tasks, I felt it was appropriate to use in the game. I agree. I think that works really, really well. All right. So, let's go ahead and talk about how the game actually plays, okay? So, yeah, let's just go ahead and go about it that way. I think that's probably. So, some number of rounds, 12 rounds, all right? In which the turn consists of variable number of turns, okay? Each round will run through the entire deck once. Make sense? Okay. So, okay. Each round Each turn consists of the following steps. Refresh spoons. So once you gain spoons, you never lose spoons. Once you gain brain function, I want to get the verbiage correct in this. Your cognitive capacity for tasks, that will never go down. So once we gain spoons, we may use them, but we're going to recover them throughout the game. So first things first, we refresh our spoons. Then we're going to draw cards. How many? Wherever our cognitive function is. Then we're going to play cards and then discard our entire hand. And then rinse and repeat. And keep doing that. Every time we go through the deck, that's going to be a round. Okay, pretty straightforward in that. All right, so drawing cards, pretty straightforward. So let's go ahead and start, and we'll kind of do this as we go. So 1, 2, 3. There we go, and it's a solo game, so here we go. All right. Also, there was one cool thing in this, I thought, for the artwork. So the artwork for the different stages gets more defined, I think is a good way to put it. It's white on white, or black on white, so it's a little hard to see, but you can see like the financial suit, so you can see that. The cognitive suit, so the book gets a little bit more defined on that. The endurance suit, you can see the clock a little bit better. And the adaptability suit is a nicer glove, a better glove, right? So I thought that was pretty cool. Amabel Holland is, I'm sorry, Amabel was the artist in this one as well. All right, so we've drawn cards. So now we play cards from our hand one at a time. Play any card unless we have the trigger card, and I'll cover the trigger card when we get there. Play any card from our hand and then do whatever it is. The goal of the game is to be able to complete or get through 3 of the different suits before the end of the game. Okay? All right. All right. So first off, we have driving, we have cooking, we have planning. Now I'm partial to cooking because cooking, but I do love to drive. Planning seems good. So let's go and talk about these first. So the first thing, oh God, we actually cannot drive. We cannot play this card. Why? Because to be able to expend, you have to have the resources. So when we play a card, okay, when we play a card, we have to expend whatever the resources are on the left. This would be a spoon, so we would use the spoon, pretty straightforward. And then we have to play care. Well, we don't have any care in in the top right-hand corner of any of these cards. So we can't use driving as the card we're playing. Whereas cooking, we can, because we have time available for that. And same with planning. So we could advance cooking or planning onto the second one. Okay, so we expend the resources. We do whatever it says. And in our case, progress skill, rotate a card, or exchange a card. Exchange a card meaning going from a 2 to a 3. Okay, so pretty straightforward, I think, on all of that. All right. So what do we want to do? We want to cook or we want to plan? I'll leave that up to y'all. Okay. In fact, yeah, we're only going to be able to do one of these, unfortunately. And another amazing thing about this is whenever we discard our hand, and I'll talk about that here in a minute. I'm just going to go ahead and make the decision for us. So we're going to go ahead and play cooking. We have to expend a spoon. And we have to expend a time. So going to go ahead and discard that. All right, so I guess technically we discard that first. We're playing this card. So what do? We achieve this. So that will now get discarded, and that's now to level 2. We have this card left in our hand. We don't have a spoon and we don't have time in which to be able to expend. So what does that mean? Now we have to discard our hand. All right. So when you are no longer willing or able to play cards in your hand, you place it in your discard pile. Okay, cool, easy enough. If During this part of your turn, you discard a card that is on stage 2 or greater. So if this were already previously like this, your skill atrophies. What's that mean? It would have to then turn around back to 1. Obviously, it can't atrophy beyond 1. So that kind of sucks, okay? That's only when you discard at the end of your hand, when you have to discard the rest of your hand, when you're done playing cards. If you discard a card like I did for the driving, that doesn't atrophy. The game stresses that. Okay, so done. So our discards, I'm just going to go ahead and keep off camera now that I've shown you all how that works. Done. So what happens now? We draw. We draw 3. Attention, family, and rest. Okay. So we do have a couple of care in this case, but we have no spoons. So first thing, we refresh our spoons. I forgot. That's step 1. All right, cool. So we have 1 spoon. Everything's going to require us to spend a spoon. So we're only going to be able to do 1 of these. What would y'all like to do? Attention, family, or rest? Y'all choose while I get a drink. This game kind of reminded me mechanically a little bit like Farewell Fish Forever, a little bit, in that the way you're kind of trying to advance the cards and trying to, you know, play them in that, and it's a relatively mechanically pretty simple game. All right, Yorick, I like that. Family, we eat what we cooked. There we go. All right, so we're gonna expend a spoon. So we're playing this, and we have to expend that. So that flips, done. And this one, we cannot play, so we have to discard it, done, done. So, get our spoon, 3 cards. And we know our trigger's in here, so I'm nervous about that, all right? We've not seen it yet. So now, just to be clear, we've advanced to a level 2 in the green, and these actually have suits, right? Okay, so here. Generally, the financial skills provide money, the cognitive brains, endurance are spoons, and adaptability are skills manipulate the deck or provide other effects. All right, so financial are these, and those generally get us money. Cognitive, which are the books, those are these, get us brains, which means we draw more cards. Endurance are spoons, endurance being the clocks, and the adaptability is kind of manipulating the deck. We've upgraded the blue for manipulating the deck, and we've upgraded financial. So I think that we ought to try and upgrade one of those next. So socialize seems like a good idea. All right. So if we were, in fact, no, I guess we could do generalize, but no, I think we go ahead and do this. So we're go ahead and expend our spoon. We've already done a financial, so we'll discard the budget for the time. We will upgrade our social, and we cannot, so we will discard generalize. That's done. Refresh our spoon, 3 cards. There are 5 left. Still no trigger. All right, education, work, or memory. figure it should be either education or memory. I think we go with memory on this. So we'll use our spoon. We will discard work for the care. Flips that one. And we don't have a spoon. Discard, done. Refresh. So the first round, pretty basic. Wow. So the trigger is going to be in. Okay. Exactly. Yep. We get more here. Whenever we see that icon, gain a spoon, gain money, gain brain, so we can't do it yet until we get to the level 2s. All the level 1s, once we progress, you'll notice on the other side of things. So here, for instance, gain money, gain cognitive or brain function. Okay, that makes sense. All right. I think we've upgraded all, let's see, pink, brown, or beige, if you will. Blue and green. Yeah, we've upgraded at least one of each. I think being able to draw more cards might not be a terrible idea. So, health. Yeah, I think so. So we'll spend a spoon. We'll discard hobby. There, and don't have it. Done. Done. Now, 1, 2. We have to draw 3. Okay. Here we go. When you need to draw a card, either at the start of your turn, i.e. now, or when the action deck instructs you to, the deck has no more cards. Begin a new round. Advance the calendar token to the next numbered space. Okay. Shuffle the discards, draw the required cards, and continue play. If the round ends on the final round, don't reshuffle. Okay. So, okay. And obviously some of these are, upside down because they're 2s. You get the idea. Okay. Oops. Okay, and we'll cut. There. And draw. All right, so we have our trigger to start with, okay? And here, I'll go ahead and bring it here so it's a little bit more visible for everybody. All right, if this card is in your hand, do the following in order. Okay, if another skill caused you to draw this card, complete that skill's action. That's not the case because we just drew it at the beginning of a turn, right? Okay, so then, complete the trigger skill's expend requirements. If you can't, your turn ends. So, when the trigger card's in your hand, you may not play any other cards other than the trigger card. This causes you to immediately perform the trigger card's action in order. Now, what is our trigger? Well, remember, doing chores. So, that's going to come into play. So, complete the trigger skill's expend requirements. If you can't, your turn ends. Okay, so we have to expend a spoon and a time. So we have to discard deficit awareness. So that gets discarded. Done. Okay. So our turn didn't end. Complete the trigger skill's achieve step, but do not gain any spoons, cognitive, or money. However, in our case, the achieve is just to turn it around. That we are allowed to do. Okay. Done. If you can, complete the trigger skill's progress step and progress the skill, which is what we just did. Discard this card and continue with your turn. Okay, so this does not get discarded. We're now at 2 on that one, okay? It's just a reminder of where our trigger is. The trigger gets discarded. Off. Done. Okay? Done. And now we have this card. Now, here's the catch. Socialize. We need a spoon and a time. You know what we can't do? We don't have it. So what happens? It atrophies, and it goes back to the other side and gets discarded. Whee! Aren't triggers fun? New round, or new turn. That sucked. Okay, that makes sense. All right. So we only have one time. Everything requires time, so we don't want to play shopping. We just atrophied the beige socialize, so why don't we go ahead and do this one? So we'll play our spoon, use our spoon. We'll go ahead and discard that, achieve, and we can't do this one, so that's getting discarded as well. Now I'm all nervous whenever we get multiple of the second level ones. All right. Memory, driving, and family. Oh. Well, okay. Now we have a legit decision, but I think family is the one we play first. Because it's going to allow us to draw 2 new cards. How do I know this? Because draw indicated number of cards from the deck into your hand. Okay, that seems like a good thing. Because more cards, we can do more stuff with it. If we were to play the memory, we would have to discard this one. That's okay, it doesn't atrophy because we're paying it as a cost. We can get another cognitive, which means we draw 4 cards in, But the problem is, we can't progress because we don't have any money. I think we play the family. I think that makes the most sense. So, play family. We expend. We don't have to spend a spoon to be able to do that. Oh, by the way, I should have. Sorry, I forgot to reset that. So we still have a spoon available. That's good. But we do have to spend memory. We do not flip it around because we're spending it. Okay. Draw 2 new cards into our hand. That's good. Okay. And now to progress, we need to spend a spoon and 2 care. Well, unfortunately, we don't have care. We have the spoon, so we can't progress it. So it just gets discarded because we played it. Well, that sucked. And yeah, that's a fair point, Netwilt. Well, we have no hearts, so we're not going to play driving. We could do either of these. I think we do budget. So we'll spend our spoon. And it doesn't really matter, so we'll spend that as time. That goes, and we discard that. Doesn't atrophy because it can't. Reset our spoon. All right. We need more spoons. I like the idea of what this allows us to do once it's upgraded. To go ahead and progress a skill for any card in hand or discard pile. So yeah, let's go ahead and play this one. So there's our spoon. We discard education. That goes, and we can't. So done. And then we know that's the trigger right there. Or, oh no, the trigger's in discard. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. All right. Well, On the positive side, we now have extra time and we have extra care. But the problem is the time, that doesn't work. Okay. We still have no money to be able to progress that. So something is going to atrophy. Yeah, I know. I need to keep track of that, and I'm not. I realize that. So we're not going to be able to progress anything but that, but if we do that, something's going to atrophy no matter what. We need money. So we can't play this, so we're playing one of these two, and one of them is going to atrophy. I think we play hobby. So we expend our spoon, and we don't get change, obviously, and we can't use that for any other action, so we will play cooking. There. That goes. And then, unfortunately, that atrophies. Oh, I am not doing well. All right, so now we need to obviously draw cards for the next round. There, so shuffle. What do y'all think so far? How many of y'all had heard of this before mentioning it weekly look ahead or today? Okay, so drawing 3 cards. I think we play budget. We can't progress it, but it'll at least get us money. I think so. I think I'm doing this right. So, use the spoon. We don't have the time. We can't. Never mind. Damn it. You know what? Yeah, I think we actually do family. So play that, discard memory, draw 2 cards, which might allow us to progress that. Unfortunately not. We only drew 1. So we can't progress it, so that's done. So we still have a spoon. And we have, so one of these. We're not going to be able to progress it, but at least this gets us cash. I think we play budget now. There, and one of the time, so it has to be that one gets discarded. We gain money. Yay! We finally have cash. We can't progress it, so that's done. And we can't do this one, so we're done. We need spoons. Clearly we need spoons. There. This refreshes a spoon. So whenever we rest, so, sorry, right there, move a spoon from used to unused. That, I mean, not right now, obviously, but one, this doesn't work. because they both cost time and are going to cost the one another. Oh, God, that's frustrating. Yeah, spoons feel super important. I imagine this is frustrating, kind of like the recovery process of this. So if we play this, that would go into the discard pile. Then we could upgrade any of these, any of the level, so those two. If I play this, that would get discarded. That, I think we play shopping, I think, there, and play the time. That upgrades or progresses. And now we don't have time, so this atrophies. Son of a... God, that's frustrating. So if we were to play hobby, we might be able to progress it. Let's see. If we were to play that, we discard socialize. We can spend hearts in place of time, but doesn't really matter. Then we could spend a spoon and a time to progress that to 3. But advancing socialize gets us more spoons. I think this would atrophy, though, if we do that. Oh, man. I just stressed how important getting extra spoons is. But otherwise, we're just spending our time. We can advance that to level 3. Oh, God. The goal of the game is to get through 4 on 3 of these. Short term, long term. I don't know. The fact that it's going to atrophy, I think, is the deciding factor. I think I have to play it. So we play that. We discard socialize. To progress this, we spend a spoon and a time. And now this goes 3. And that can kind of set aside, if you will. Okay? So, yay, we're on a 3, I think. Yay, I think. 3 cards left there. Again, 2 time, but the... God. This says place the top 3 discards of the bottom at the top 3 discards to the bottom of the deck. That gets us more money. Yeah, I think so, Tristan. I think you're right. That you have to kind of upgrade, like, evenly, even though, you know, I just realized that yeah. So cooking's going to atrophy. No, actually it won't. Hold on. It won't. If we play work, play a spoon and time, that way we keep it from atrophying. There. And then we discard deficit awareness. I think that works. And then obviously our trigger is going to happen now. Okay. So we have to do that for our trigger. Okay. Complete a spoon and discard your entire hand to expend. So that and discard our entire hand. Done. Hey, good news. Oh, we don't gain. Damn it. We don't gain spoons. Well, if we can progress it, but we can't. So, okay. It just goes away. That sucks that I just realized that chores gets us spoons and we can't, and it's not in our deck. Down to 9. Ah. Oops. Okay, cut. 3 cards. Let me get our spoon back. Yo, dog, I hear you need spoons. Boy, do we. So, one are get. We can keep. Oh, we could boost memory and get that to a level 3 for the cost of our money. And nothing atrophies this way. I think that's a good idea. I think. Key here, I think. Spend our spoon and the hobby card. Notice that it has time and care. But you can't. Yeah, obviously, if a card asks for both, you can only play a card for a single thing. Here, running a risk, but progress. There. Hey, we're up to 3 on memory. So that'll go away. And then we can't discard. Oh, cooking's just mocking me. We can gain the money back that we just spent. That seems like a not terrible idea. And that way nothing atrophies. Oh, and our spoon's back. So we'll spend our spoon. We'll spend the time here, even though there's that. That way that doesn't atrophy. Get our money and progress. Unfortunately, we cannot. So that goes away and discarded. Oh! You're right. Back up. We're at 4. So hold on. Let's take that turn back. Good call. Good call. So actually, that might, hold on. Hold on. So, good call. So we could then, because we drew a heart, we could advance work. It gains us more money, potentially. You know what we're not gaining? Spoons. Yeah, I think I like that idea. I think so. Because we still can't play cooking because we don't have enough time. So, yeah. Here. So we'll play the spoon. And we'll use the cooking there. Gain cash, and then we can discard education to progress that to level 3 for work. That's what we're looking at there. And then, good call, we're at 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, yeah. Now I see the downside of that. That's a lot of cards. Okay. All right. A spoon and discard our entire hand. This is fun. We don't get that, and we can't advance it. Oh, God. So I'm just trying to show you all how not to play the game well, okay? So generalize doesn't make sense because, well, I guess we could advance a level 1. Hold on, let me look at the discards and see, are there any that gain us spoons? No. We need to advance the beige ones, which, notice there's a distinct lack of beige. There's that one, but no. Socialize at level 3 will get us a spoon. And rest. So socialize and rest. It sucks that this came out. That is really crippling. No, the forced discard, you don't have to atrophy. It's only when you discard the rest of your hand at the end when you choose not to do anything, Alyssa. Okay, so we can gain more money and advance shopping, but it's going to require us to have 2 spoons when we get to level 3. And I think that's probably a bad idea. We have no hearts if we were to play this, so we would need to, that seems unlikely to advance family. We could advance shopping at least. So something's going to atrophy, I think, no matter what, right? So, deficit awareness says place the top 5 discards at the bottom of the deck. Oh, and gain a spoon. Yeah, you are correct. Yes, it does. So all 3 of these. So that's what we need to focus on, is getting those upgraded. You're right. So I think family's going to atrophy no matter what. I think. No, not necessarily. We could keep, yeah. Play that. Spend a time. I think we spend budget. Yeah, that seems, yeah, we'll spend budget for that. We'll gain another cash. And then we'll spend family for the care, and we'll upgrade shopping to 3. And then we can't, so this will atrophy. There. 4 cards. 1, 2. I know. Oops. That had to have been 3, so, okay. Yeah. 4. Okay. So we need to focus on those, right? Get our spoon back. This just gets us another spoon, so we got to do socialize, I think. So we'll play that. Spend our spoon and a time. Does it matter? There. That's good. We don't have any spoons, so those both get discarded. The goal is to advance past level 4. So in other words, get rid of it, 3 of the 3 of these. All right. Complete the trigger. There and discard. Oh, and we get our spoon back, but that now gets used. Fine. Discard our entire hand. We don't gain it. We don't have the spoons. That goes away. Thank you. And that just gets us one time. That gets us a time and a care. So one of these atrophies, it looks like. No, hobby. We can't advance it, but we could keep it from atrophying. But then, so shopping can only be used for time. Hobby would atrophy down to 2. If we were to play budget, we could use the time to keep shopping from atrophying. But shopping kind of sucks, honestly. Oh, hey, John. I just saw. So designer's in the house. Hey, John. Oh. You know what? I think I want to keep hobby from atrophying. So we'll play budget, use the spoon, and use that for the time. Gain another buck. We can't, so we don't progress it. Done. So now we don't have any spoons, so this will atrophy. Back to 2. And discard those. Done. This is a clever little game, John, and really frustrating. In a good way, I think. Okay. Last thing I want to do is get more cognitive ability until we get more spoons, which the spoon is right there, which is coming up soon, I hope. So I don't want this, but we want to use that for the care. We don't want that to atrophy, which means we're going to play one of these. Remove a card from the game. That seems not great right now, or another card, but at least that health we could advance since we have enough cash. I think we do that. Even though I just said I don't want more cognitive. There. We'll use the care there. That advances. And that costs us the spoon, obviously. And so that means cooking atrophies. Damn it. Oh. 1. Wow, this is going quickly. Okay. And cut. 2, 3, 4. Well, we could advance family to 3. I don't know that we want to. Because it doesn't use the spoon, and we have 2 hearts there for health. We could advance health to 3. This turn, you don't need to expend hearts. Advancing health might not be terrible. It doesn't seem too bad. I mean, but drawing more cards scares me because I don't want to... I think we advance health. I think. I don't... Not, totally sold on that. Advance cognitive. Spend a money. Advances health from 2 to 3. Done. Oh, and that spent family for the heart as well. We don't have any spoons, so those go away. It's in the deck right now. 4, 5. Hey, I'm not saying I'm playing it right, Netwilk, or best, but come on. And of course, there it is. Of course. Damn trigger. So, there. Discard your whole hand. Not angry. Yes, I am. Grrr. This is not going well. I know, Judge. I know. I know. So now we can't advance work. Oh, here, let me scoot these over. We can't advance hobby, but we can keep them from atrophying. And deficit awareness, we need to upgrade. We have to upgrade it because we need spoons. So we need to play one of these. This requires 8 money. I think we let that atrophy down to 2. So we'll use hobby for the care, which goes there. No, no, and that atrophies down to 2. And these get discarded. 1, 2, 3, so, it's not looking good for the home team. Cut. Woo! This is a tough little puzzle. 3, 4, 5. Hey! Hey, hey! We have socialized. God, let's get out of the house, can we please? Oh, God, that's got to get played. All right. And some time. Which of those two? We're not going to do cooking. Yeah, this has just got to happen. So, let's see. So, budget or shopping? I think we let budget atrophy, which means memory's going to too, but so be it. Shopping we won't, so we'll put that there. Gain a spoon, then expend the spoon. So whatever. So hey, we have 2 spoons at least. Spoon. And then to progress it, we need a spoon. We can't. That's okay. I'll deal with that. Done. So now this goes to 2. This goes back to 1. It still feels like it was worth it. So when y'all get your copy of this, the importance of spoons cannot be overstated. Okay? Finally. Okay, so this doesn't require a spoon. Place the top 3 discards at the bottom of the deck. Damn it! It's the 4th card to get another spoon. Rest doesn't get us a spoon. But it does go from used to unused. That might not be bad to upgrade anyway. So if we do that, it requires a spoon and a time. So planning will then be used for the time. That becomes there. Now, if we were to do this, yeah, check it out. Play this, expend work, place the top 3 discards at the bottom of the deck. 1, 2, 3 here. I assume maybe shuffle them up. It doesn't say one way or the other, but there, bottom of the deck. And then spend a spoon and a care to upgrade deficit awareness to 3. Hot damn, we go into Sizzler. Boom. You know what? That's a victory right there. And you know the amazing thing about this? Obviously, or not obviously, but I've never had a traumatic brain injury. I've never had to go through like any kind of like serious rehab. But I imagine these little victories and these frustrations model that pretty well, I would imagine, John. So that seems like well done. I mean, relatively speaking, because we're playing a game. It's not, I mean, it's not at that level. I understand, but as much as a game can model that, right? Well, the trigger's in there. Then next turn. All right. At least I feel like we're making progress a little. Well, I think we do health. Maybe? Let's see. If we were to do this, spend a spoon and a buck. This turn, you don't have to expend care. To progress it is that and something else. We'll expend hobby for the time. Health now goes to level 4. Take the trigger from the deck and place it in the discard pile. That doesn't seem bad. So that'll go. Now we don't need to expend any hearts. We have no spoons. But you know what? Getting the trigger right now wouldn't be the end of the world. So doing this, playing that, and we play it for free because we don't have to expend any hearts, any care. 2 cards. There we go. So we finish this. We can't do that. That goes there. Then the trigger says spend a spoon, and it says if another skill caused you to draw this card, complete that skill's actions. We did. Complete the trigger skill's expend requirements. If you can't, your turn ends. I'm okay with that, because that's essentially what that was going to make us do anyways. That seems like a victory, I think. Yeah, the little victories are huge, assuming you remember to appreciate them, John says. I think so. I thought that was kind of clever right there. Yeah, and that makes sense. So 3, and now shuffle. Okay, cut. Okay, 3, 4, 5. And we get our spoons back. Probably ought to do it right to left. All right, we need to save a time to be able to get a spoon back. That seems good. Okay. If we start with work, let's see. If we start with work, I think we'll spend the planning for time, gain a buck, and we have to expend a care. To advance work to level 3. Done. And that's what that looks like. So a little scary, but all right, we'll work on it. Now, that doesn't work, does it? That didn't work. That did not work. You know what? We're just going to leave it, play it how it, yeah, so be it. I messed that up, but expend a time. We get a spoon back, but then we don't have the time to spend. So I messed that up. That's on me. Oh, well, so be it. That was poor on my part. All right, so health has 3 carrots, a level 4. We don't have a way to complete it, but if we spend a spoon of money in 2 time, a spoon of money in 2 time, take the trigger from the deck and place it in the discard pile. Okay, happily. I assume we shuffle at that point. Oh, right. Thank you, John. Right, you got it right. The circle around it means you don't expend it. You just have to have it. Correct. Yeah. All right. Now, unfortunately, we don't have enough to complete it, but got rid of the trigger, at least. So it feels like it gave us an extra turn. So now, we do have the money. We could, but we won't be able to do that. This, we have a potential to do. If we draw well, sure. Let's see how it goes. There. We have to spend the hobby. Draw 2 cards. We drew well. And now, spend a spoon and that. However, we can't, damn it, we can't do that. That bit me in the butt. But we can do it. There, in the 2 hearts, family becomes level 3. And now, I had to use it for that. It's a May, but the problem is I don't have the time to be able to, it did not work. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut. 5. And look, I have no doubt that y'all are going to be able to be like, hey, you should have. I have no doubt about that. But I imagine this is going to be kind of how y'all play it as well. So I don't want to necessarily undo just to be able to min-max. So be it. Okay. So deficit awareness. Spend a spoon, place the top 5 discards at the bottom of the deck, and then gain a spoon. That's going to happen. But we'll work on that in a bit. Oh, that's running a huge risk, isn't it? Family, drawing 3 cards. I know that the top one's not the trigger because it's upside down, but I think that's too big of a risk to be able to pass up getting another spoon. So I don't think we can play family first. Oh. But we could advance shopping. That seems not terrible. So let's do that. So we'll play shopping. We spend a time. We'll go and spend driving. We gain $1. And then we can use family. Yeah, I think I like that idea. I think so. We'll use family as the progress for shopping. Shopping becomes 3 again. That goes away. Now, we'll play deficit awareness. Place the top 5, so these 3. Gain a spoon. And we can't advance it, but that's okay. In this, we can't play even though we have the spoon. So hey, look at that. We're swimming in spoons. So by the way, top 3 cards, what we would have drawn. Yeah, could have gotten away with it. Oh well. Achieve gets us a spoon back that we've spent. Advancing work would cost us getting the spoon back, but we could progress it to level 4, which you have to have $8. That seems ambitious. But it gets us potentially a lot of money. Even if we can't advance. You know what? Oh, that might be worth it. Oh, that might be worth it. Or wait, we could upgrade rest, couldn't we? You know what? Maybe we go that route. So if we were to spend these, then that we would get. I'm 1 card short. Damn it, to be able to advance both of those. I think it's worth it to advance work or progress work. So it costs a spoon and 2 time. Those 2 time. Done. Gain 2 cash. So we're at 4. And now here's the thing. I don't have to progress work. But if I don't, playing that plays this card, and then I can't advance. Yeah. So I might as well. Spend a spoon and rest, and that becomes a 4. And that goes away. I think advancing, focusing on the 3s, I agree, I think is probably the right thing. So. Well, the good news is we're going to advance our trigger. All right, so spend a spoon and discard your entire hand. Don't get the spoon, but to progress it, 2 spoons. So that becomes now the 4. I'm sorry, the 3. One, two, three, four, 5. And get our spoons back. Okay. So we can advance hobby or we could advance family. Well, they're both blue. So what one do we think we can complete? We have a ton of, I think we advance hobby. Okay, so. That's a spoon and a buck. Advance the brain, which is kind of what we wanted to do anyways. And now a spoon and 1 thing. Driving. That now is a 4. Okay. Now, getting us another spoon. We can't play that and we can't play that, so I guess this is the no-brainer. So we then expend shopping, expend the spoon. We gain another spoon and expend it. We can't progress it. Done. So that's done. And family regresses, but that's okay. We got hobby. That's the level 4. So family goes back to a 2. Okay. Down to 3. I don't think we're going to get it done, but I think we're at least making progress. So. And cut. 6 cards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the good news is we don't discard, oh yeah, and discard your entire hand with a minimum of, yeah, we still. Oh, here's what we're discarding. Work, unfortunately. Well, no, we couldn't have gained it. We couldn't have completed it. But that's not the end of the world, I guess. So expend 1 spoon in our whole hand, and then don't get that, and then spend 2 more spoons, and that advances to 4. Remember, we can never cure our trigger, so this is where it's at now. On the positive note is we're not going to discard our hand anymore. Just going to stay there. So I guess that's good. So those go away. Thanks, John. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, we should be able to make some hay here. I think we finish hobby. I think so. So, $2 and a time. Sure, we'll go and use that time. This turn, we don't spend anything other than spoons and money. Awesome. So we spend 2 spoons and a buck, and hey, that is, which one? Adaptability skills, I believe. Yes. We have completed, hey, we have made that done. So, so you know what? We set aside the completed one, so that is done. So I guess those will stay there. But hey, good news. We've completed that. So yeah, that's about right, Mur. 30 to 45 minutes. Would you say you're heading forward? I would say, Tristan. So yay. Well done, us. Okay, so now what do we got? We don't need to spend anything other than spoons and money. We are a spoon short on this and $2 short, so no. Place the top 5 discards. Unfortunately, trigger's right there, right? So we don't want to play deficit awareness to put the trigger back in there. We could advance shopping, actually, couldn't we? Just spend the 2 spoons. Gain $1. We don't have to spend the money. Do we have a green 4? We do. Work. Yeah. We could advance. No, we can't advance memory. We can't progress it because we don't have the cash. I think we do shopping. I think so. So, shopping, we gain $1, which is going to help us with other stuff. We don't have to, so that will go there. But now the problem is all of those regress. I don't think that's necessarily the end of the world. So health becomes a 3. Memory becomes a 1. Remember I said that. And that will, deficit awareness becomes a 2. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, follow as many of the steps under achieve as you can in the order given. So no, it's not a choice. Yep. So that's 5, that's 6. Well, the good news is we know the trigger's not here. Now we're swimming in spoons. And unfortunately, these cards don't really help us much. Getting money seems good, so we'll play budget. So spend a spoon and a time. That advances that. Then we'll spend a time, get that spoon back, and then spend 2 spoons and a time to advance rest to 3. And then deficit awareness will regress because we don't have the heart to play, and so be it, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Probably wasn't the right order in which to do things. Well, the good news is, I guess, is the trigger here, expend that and a buck. Don't gain the bonus, but I don't discard the rest of the cards, so I guess that's okay. So that will go away. Problem is we have no spoons, but we could try. We'll try. Maybe something will give a, probably not, right? Do I want to play that? All that, oh God. Okay, there's the problem with it. Yeah, let's just try. So we play something. We're not going to be able to do this one realistically, and I want to keep shopping intact, so we'll play that for the heart. We can't advance it, so that's done. Oh, I didn't refresh the spoon. Oh. No, I wouldn't have refreshed the spoons because the trigger was there. No. Oh, my bad. Before the trigger. So, the trigger would have cost me 2 spoons and the money. So I still have that. Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. Okay. Shoot. Which 2 did I just draw? Apologies. Yep. So you know what? I'll leave it as is. That's fine. And now I have 2 spoons to use. That's fine. I have no cash. I only have 1 time. So the ones don't really matter. In a perfect world, that, but I can't. So we'll play socialize. Spend a spoon and the time. Gain another spoon, but it is expended. And then to progress it, play the spoon. That becomes a 3. Too little, too late, I realize, but we're out of spoons, so that will regress to a 2. And those go away. And it's going to be because 1, 2. There we go. I appreciate it, Mur, but that's all right. I wasn't going to win anyways. We knew that. And cut 3, 4, 5, 6. Work, we need $8 to progress it. However, there might be things that bring our discards back in, so I could make a case for either of these. I think we try and do work. So work says spend a spoon and up to 3 time. So 1, 2, 3 time. Gain $3 or a buck for every time spent at work. I mean, it makes sense, right? And we can't complete it, unfortunately, because we only have $3 as opposed to 8. But at least it's on the top of our discards. And we can't do either of those because we don't... Oh, no, actually I could, couldn't I? Hold on. Budget could be that and a time. Gains another buck. And I don't have the time to progress it, but so be it. 6, 6, and that's it. We have no spoons to gain now, ironically. But just in case, let's go ahead. A spoon and 2 time. Oh God, there isn't 2 time. There's only 1 time out there. Right there. Never mind. Can't do it. Well, fine. Oh, but we could do that first. All right, let's go ahead and risk it. So we'll play family. There, draw 2 cards. Okay. And then I could progress it, but I choose not to. So that's done. Now we will socialize. A spoon and 2 time. Gain a spoon, but there isn't any to gain. Spend a spoon and a care to progress that to there. And might as well there and spend health. Turn that into 2. Done. So, if the round ends where when on the final round, don't reshuffle the deck or draw any cards. Instead, complete your turn with any card you have in hand, then end the game. So, that cost 2 spoons and $1. And then that's that. Trigger's done. Shopping is 2 spoons. Gain a brain or $2. We'll gain $2. Then we need, unfortunately, we can't complete it because we're short on time. We have the money and we have the spoons, but we don't have the time. Oh. Well, either way, we still don't have it. So unfortunately, we didn't finish that. So there we go. We completed 1 of the 4 on medium level. That's hard. I imagine recovering from a traumatic brain injury is difficult. If you completed the skills in at least 3 of the areas, you've successfully completed your rehab program, win the game. If you have not, your insurance provider discontinues payment and you lose in so many ways. I think that's amazing. I think that's fantastic. I mean, take a look at it, right? Like, it's a deck of cards, it's a calendar, and a couple of pieces of little, cut wood, and it tells an amazing story of how these cards, how you're trying to recover. And you can get really involved in the theme, like shopping. Step 4, progress 4 is follow the shopping list, whereas 3 is writing the shopping list. And I think this is amazing. I really do. I think this is spectacular for what it does. So really well done, John, and everybody over at Hollenspiel, which Marion and Amabel. So well done, y'all. This is great. Highly recommend it. Check it out over on Hollenspiel's website. That was just really just smart and frustrating in ways that I feel like the game is trying to express. Somebody mentioned it earlier. Hold on. Let me find. thought I read. With games, you can present some truly complicated and excruciating life events in small, comprehensible bites. Making them do that and be fun at the same time is the real trick. So JC or JJCC said that, and I think that is spot on. Takes an obvious, very serious subject, gamifies it, and puts it in a context that gives you, just a minuscule feel of the frustration and the victories when you succeed in steps of this. So really well done. I want to pick up a copy of this. So yeah, I would definitely recommend if you enjoy solo puzzles where a theme comes through in a game. You saw it, so go check it out. Yeah, really, really well done. All right, that's it for today. That is Heading Forward. Big thanks to all of y'all for hanging out. Thanks for John for stopping in. Certainly appreciate seeing that. That was cool. Thanks to Shrey for providing the impetus for the stream and the copy. So thanks a lot for that. And Sunday, I will be back recording the podcast with Liz Davidson of Beyond Solitaire. So be sure to tune in at noon on that, or listen to the podcast when it releases. But that said, give it a thumb. If y'all enjoyed the stream, certainly would appreciate it. It helps the channel subscribe if you're not already. Maybe consider supporting the show over on patreon.com/HCHQ. It helps keep the lights on. It helps keep things going. So certainly would appreciate that. So I'll see y'all in a couple days. Have a great rest of your day, rest of the weekend, essentially. Stay cool out there. The heat is oppressive. So be careful out there. Take care, y'all. It really was. Really. It felt so good to complete one of the rehabs that, yeah, it just nailed it. Just well done.